Well, hello everyone. This time for my web update, I'm going to try something a little bit different. This time, instead of writing down what I have to say about this past month's goings on, I'm going to try and do this in the form of a brief video. So let me know how you like it. Perhaps I can do it this way in the future. This month, March, as in pretty much every month, there has been an awful lot going on, so I'll just get right into it. March 12th, we had an unexpected program, really. Rabbi Michael Lerner, who some of you might recall was one of the panelists in our program with the Dalai Lama this past summer. We got a call that he was going to be in town and that there was a time frame when he would be available for us to present him out here at our national headquarters. We had about 2 weeks advance notice about it, so I was a little bit reluctant because a man of his notoriety and stature, I would hate to have a program that would be poorly attended, but we decided to dive into it. Our auditorium seats about 120 people at the maximum. So we devised the idea that what our plan would be to be able to produce this event in such a way that we would turn people away. Why not? So that was our starting point. And I have to say that we ended up seating close to 100 people on such very short notice, but it was a wonderful program. Particularly, we had an awful lot of help in terms of marketing it from Juli Cesano, Juli Cesano Bolger, who is our publicity person, and she brought in help from a number of other places. So volunteers came in, Michelle Harrell, who is a member and who is also a marketing professional, gave us a lot of help with this. So it was a very good effort, and it turned out quite well. Later in that same week, actually that weekend, I flew out to Houston, Texas to take part in the centenary celebration of the local branch there in Houston. They were founded in 1912 and they have a charter that was signed by Annie Besant. It was quite a good event, and it was held at 2 local universities. The first night was at Rice University, and it featured a local professor who is quite popular and is a radio and TV personality there. She gave a talk about the history and impact of the Theosophical Society on Western thought. It was quite a good talk, and particularly considering that she was not a member of the Theosophical Society, it was quite complimentary, and she was quite generous in terms of her recognition of the Theosophy's role in shaping the consciousness, particularly the religious and spiritual consciousness of America and of the Western world. So that was attended by about 80 people that night. The next day was an all-day workshop, which was held at the University of St. Thomas, another lovely campus. That one took place on St. Patrick's Day, which was quite nice to see so many people dressed in green. But it was an all-day workshop which I conducted and was attended by quite a few of the members and also non-members. Many people were being exposed for the very first time. So that was a very productive and very, very good weekend. It's not too often that people or organizations get to celebrate the 100-year anniversary. It takes a little bit more than just wanting to stay alive to reach that sort of mark. And from all indications and from the people who have had contact with the Houston branch over the years, they've really done a wonderful thing in terms of being a presence there to not just spread a message, but to actually assist people in the very things that Theosophy speaks to, the unfoldment of consciousness and of our powers for compassion and kindness and such. On March 22nd, Dan Smola, who is the our new librarian. He has taken over since Marina Maestas, who was with us for 9 years is in the post of head librarian. But Dan has started doing a number of very innovative things in the library, and he and my wife, Lily Boyd, had in mind to start some children's programming. So what they did, they began it this month in March with bedtime stories. So a group of people got together and planned it out and had the library just decorated with dolls and Humpty Dumpty and teddy bears all over, and had blankets on the floor, and invited, spread the word around the local area and to the school that operates here, the Prairie School of DuPage, about this upcoming event. So it worked out that there were 7 kids that came that first night, everything from pure infants to kids maybe 10 years of age. Some of them came in their pajamas, and they sat down and listened to some stories that were told, children's stories. It was really a wonderful sort of event, and brought quite a different energy and life, not just to the library, but to the building. So I'll show you some pictures of that. That's something that's going to be an ongoing effort. So every month there's going to be different storytellers and different stories, but all of it hosted in the library. Then on Sunday of that week, had an opportunity to be involved in an interview. There's an institute called the Godspeed Institute, which is run by a husband and wife team, Michael and Carol Hollenbeck. But they had sent a request to conduct an interview. So I had an opportunity to do an hour-long interview with Carol, who is the person who is asking the questions and doing the interview. And really it was quite an enjoyable experience. It was an hour long, and she wanted to talk about theosophy and about the Theosophical Society. And the Godspeed Institute, you can look them up at their website, which is godspeedinstitute.com, I believe. But they have this very open view that they want to explore the world's religious and spiritual approaches. And they don't take a particular point of view as to the value, the merits of one or another. But it's a very open-ended, very comfortable sort of interview. If you're interested in hearing it, you can go to their website or to ours, where we have it posted. And again, take a listen and get back to us and let me know what it is that you think about it, how it worked out. But one of the things that was quite interesting about the whole event was it was a very 21st century sort of interview. For this reason, that it took place with me here in Wheaton, Illinois, and basically I called into a number which was the radio studio for Pacifica Radio, which is a nationwide station in California. The interviewer lives in Maine, and so she called in from there. And it was broadcast over their radio network nationwide, live. And in addition to that, it was streamed worldwide, live. Nobody ever saw each other. Nobody ever knew anything but the names of the people, but it's something that was able to reach the world instantaneously and live. So that was something that was quite an interesting event for me as well. So we're looking forward to more things of that nature as we go forward. And last but not least, a lovely almost human interest story. As many of you who have been here to our national headquarters know, we have a beautiful grounds. It's 42 acres of trees and pond and fields and flowers and gardens. Just a lovely place to have to come to work and to live and to do the sort of work that we all do here on behalf of the Theosophical Society. But along with this grounds, even though we find ourselves in the middle of a relatively large suburban town, which has grown up around us in the more than 80 years that we've been here, we still have wildlife of different sorts. So the most common things that we see are, of course, skunks, occasional deer, raccoon, hawks, and over the last several years we have had a family of owls that have been living here with us. Great horned owls, which are the very, very large ones. Maybe you may think of them as the ones in Harry Potter that would bring the messages. But last year when I first moved out here, there was a nest in a tree right outside my window, virtually, but to the very top of the tree. And so 2 babies hatched. I believe they're called owlets, but 2 baby owls hatched. And ultimately, one of them made it through. We've had a variety of different sort of things that have happened with the owls over the years. Everything from having transformers, electrical transformers blow up where the owls have come in contact with the wires. But this year, they had a nest up at the top of a pine tree, about 100 yards from where the last one was. So again, it was outside one of the houses that we have here on campus. 2 baby owlets hatched, and they're beautiful little white, furry fluffy things when they're born. And on one particular day, one of them fell out of the tree, about 40 feet down. And Michelle Shields, who is in our information department here, found the little baby owl, and it had hurt its eye. So she got in contact with a local organization, the Willowbrook Wildlife Center, who took the owl. A couple of days later, the other little baby owl fell out of the tree and didn't fare as well. That one died. Within a couple of days, the people at the Wildlife Center called to say that what they wanted to do was to come out and bring a baby owl back to the nest and put it back in the nest. The one that had fallen out of our tree had some eye damage and still needed to heal at their center, but they had had another one fall out of some other tree, same age, about a week old. At this point, it was 2 weeks. And they were going to bring it out and put it back in the nest. They said that it's not a problem because the owls will adopt whatever it is that's put in their nest, any baby owl that goes in the nest. So they brought the little baby out. They had a person whose job description was tree climber. And he's a burly fellow whose job was working with the forest preserve to climb trees, and he would occasionally do these sorts of jobs of bringing owls and other hawks and things back to their nests. So he went up. Part of the problem with an owl's nest is that they basically do not even make their own nests, that they'll take over old squirrels' nests, and so if they get blown out by the wind or damaged by the storm, they don't really have repair skills. So what happened in the case of our baby owls was that a hole had formed in the back of the nest, and it had started to tilt in that direction. So as soon as the little babies got big enough to crawl around, they just toppled out. So they put a wooden box under it, secured it, and then brought the baby owl back up and placed it successfully back in the nest. So you have some pictures that you can see of the baby owl and of it finally resting in its little nest. I have to say, as a postscript to the story, a few days later we were a little concerned because we did not see the mother owl coming back and forth. So Pablo Sender, who climbed the tree, all 40 feet of it, up to the nest, and fortunately he brought his iPhone with him and took a video, which you'll be able to find on our website. Wonderful video. I told him I'm very glad that the mother was not there at the time he climbed up, because owls are very big and have very sharp beaks and claws, and it might have been a very, very different video. But in any event, hope you enjoyed this little video segment. Again, let me know what you think, and if so, we can continue it in this way, and maybe even I can learn this software better and we can elaborate on it. So thank you very much for tuning in, and again, we'll Try it again next time. Thank you.